You're listening to 91.1 The Avenue. This is Ann, and this is The Avenue's Mile of Music coverage. We're talking today with Dave Willems, the guy that brings the mile.
Good to
How
be
you
here.
doing?
Yeah, no, good. Good to be here.
Great to see you again after a long hiatus.
Yeah. And of course, you see me now when we're a little bleary-eyed already from all the last couple of weeks of intense work on getting ready for the mile in general.
Well, honestly, it's for anybody who may not appreciate all the moving pieces and parts and things that go into creating any event, much less one as complex as the mile. It's a miracle that we're having it at all this year. So thank you to your team and you for giving us this thing that we anticipate so much every year.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And I'll pass that on to the team. The team has been amazing through this whole process. It was a very tough 16 months, but a really tough year between last March and this past March. And then we were able to bring the team back in March, and the team in full stayed together and just looking forward to jumping back into it. We felt we had created such neat momentum prior to the pandemic, and for the pandemic to come along, would be like there would be a handful of things that could have happened that would have kind of taken you out at the knees a little bit, and that was one of them. And so when we heard Fauci say, social gathering, and it was like, and then, my heart sank because I knew that was what we didn't need. But the team stayed around, and the team battled through it and figured out different things to do during that time. And then, not unlike a lot of our artists, that just figured out different ways to, different resources, different ways to bring some dollars in and to do some things. And we came back at it in mid-March, going full bore, and we didn't know for sure until probably April or early May, where we were going to stand in terms of, public health and the ability to actually move forward and so forth. And that's where we're at now. Is where we made the plans, and it feels a little bit like year one in the sense that we really had about a 3 to 4 month time frame to do most of the work for the festival.
Hard to make plans with all the uncertainty and the way things change. So again, really remarkable job, and I just can't imagine doing it with the much shorter road you had to work with.
And now, we still have fine tuning, getting things, a lot of the little, the T's crossed, the I's dotted. And then, we of course go into implementation and execution mode. But, of course, our biggest concerns at that point just simply become, with more of the festival being outside this year, a good 50 to 60% of it being outside, the weather becomes a bigger factor than it's ever been before.
Here's the silver lining in that. I've done a lot of these interviews, and I ask people what their favorite memories of our mile have been. And most of them involve rain, electrical mishaps, whatever.
Kind of little stories about that. Sure.
It's the times that things don't go as planned that create the memories. So
where people kind of overcame the challenges, and covered the little things. And I think that's true for our team as well. Those are the things you kind of go back to and talk about. I always use the joke about the first year. I think it was mile 2 probably, and we were and there was a big social media post made by some folks who are from out of the area, and they said they go to festivals throughout the year, and this was the most organized festival in terms of the set starting on time. We were actually down in Jones Park putting up a tent that we had forgotten to put up. So we all, I read it out loud. Everybody laughed, and I said, it's not really about how everything is perfectly planned. It's about how do you react when the things that aren't perfectly planned have to get taken care of. And I think that how you respond to it, how fast you respond to it. So those are the things we try to take great pride in. We'll probably have 650, to 675 live music sets, and that's still a significant amount, and it's a significant amount for our community. And we're just simply taking a bit of a slow down to kind of slow everything down so things can be a little bit safer, more time in between sets.
I think that's the groove and the pace that everyone is at anyway.
Right. That's right.
And so it's still a significant buffet of music. We're talking to Dave Willems of Mile of Music. We're talking about Mile 8, which is going on in downtown Appleton. Thursday through Sunday of this week, we'll be here bringing you lots of updates and news and musician interviews and music from the mile. My name is Ann. You're listening to 91.1 The Avenue. The Avenue's Mile of Music coverage is made possible with support from Nicolet Bank. Nicolet Bank is a supporting partner of The Avenue.